Alright, what's going on, guys? Trevor back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about Walking Dead trade paperback volume number 13, Too Far Gone. So we're getting pretty far into these reviews now, starting to get close to being caught up. I got about 3 more, and we're pretty much caught up by that point. Maybe when these come out, they'll be... No, I think volume 17 will be hitting around sometime around August or September, roughly. So we're getting pretty close. Too Far Gone, of course. Basically following up on the plot that we started in the last volume, Life Among Them, and that is, this one is in the Alexandria community. As you can see here on the cover, we've got Too Far Gone. I really like the look of this zombie at the bottom. He just, I don't know, it creeps me out. I like it. It's cool. And then you can see here, as illustrated by Charlie Adler, very cool. You've got all these people that are just look like normal people drinking and acting like nothing's going on. And then in the middle, you can see Rick, and he's just got this look on his face like he's absolutely miserable. And, of course, the title, Too Far Gone, sort of, commenting on the state of a lot of the people in Rick's group, including Rick, Carl, and some of the others that have had to make tough decisions in order to help the group survive to this point. It definitely reflects on Rick because in this issue, Rick basically is unable to reintegrate back into normal society. He has a job in the community. He's been given a job by Douglas. He's going to be a police officer, so to speak, for the the small town and that. And pretty much right away in this trade, he gets into it with one of the people there, a doctor there whose name is Peter, or he wants everybody to call him Pete. And essentially, Rick gets a weird vibe from him at the beginning. Him sleeping outside on his front porch, staying out there all night, as if his wife Jessie had kicked him out. His son having a black eye, and like Rick just being suspicious of how he got it and all that kind of stuff, thinking that this guy Peter may have been hitting his son and maybe hitting his wife, which is why he's on the front porch and they've been arguing, this kind of stuff. So he sort of investigates that, causes all kinds of problems. Also in this, Abraham has joined some of the construction crew that work on the their barrier, so to speak. As you can see him here. There he is, Bracca, Bracca, Bracca. One-armed assault rifle, which I'm pretty sure is impossible, but whatever. And he saves a character named Holly. And basically, the group that Holly is with for construction gets into this, like when they get attacked by walkers, get into this defensive formation. And they call it a phalanx, and basically they leave her, and they all get back to back, and they all start firing off, and Abraham, since he's new, goes out and saves her, and basically as a result of that, he gets mad at the others, and, saves her life and all that, so, sort of just Rick's group getting, kind of finding their place in, Alexandria, this bigger group of people, which I think we can assume has about 100 people, roughly, or somewhere around there, maybe 50 to 100, and Rick is used to, his group being around maybe maximum of 20 or 30 people. So, just getting used to that. Michonne also has taken a job as a security police officer, so to speak, because she was a lawyer before, so her and Rick are sort of, doing security, policing, I guess you could say, for the small town. You've got the pastor who's come with them, or priest, I forget his name, and he sort of is warning Douglas about, how dangerous Rick's group is, and Douglas is telling him that, well, there's nothing we can really do about it. They deserve, a chance to prove themselves. And the most exciting part of this one is the fight probably between Peter and Rick. As you can see here, Rick is instigating it too. He just knocks on his door and starts punching the guy. You can see here, knock, 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 wham, cracks him right away. Rick is, at this point, just, he's very violent, very aggressive. They have a great fight. Rick smashes him through the glass there, and even with one hand, Rick is still whooping ass and all that. And then Rick pulls his gun on the people, and he's not even supposed to have it, in this community. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, they think he's crazy. And Michonne hits him with a rock on the back of the head and sort of takes his gun away. So there's a nice role reversal, so to speak. And her look on her face, too, like when she says, get his gun, right there at the bottom. It's really weird to see that, because you'd think that Michonne would be loyal to Rick and that she wouldn't do something like that. But she's sort of like, I don't know, maybe she just loves this community and that kind of stuff, or maybe she thinks that Rick is out of control. Here is a full spread of him. And there's Peter there, and Peter's all messed up. Rick's beating his ass pretty much. and there's Jesse behind him, and everybody's just kind of standing there looking at Rick like he's crazy for beating the crap out of Peter. But he's actually not, because afterwards Peter goes off the rail, and he takes a butcher knife and he goes after Rick. And what they do essentially is they make him, Peter, leave his house so he can't stay with his wife anymore, and he just kind of goes nuts. And here's one here where he's got the knife and he's kind of walking around. They see him, and Douglas's wife, who's the basically, there she is there, she's kind of a loudmouth, Bia, so to speak. She's always yelling at people, and Douglas, of course, the leader of the community, Peter goes off, he loses it, and he slices her up right there at the top, killing her basically. And they grab him, they basically grab him, hold him down. Rick pulls his gun on him, and then this is probably one of the coolest parts of this trade for sure. At the bottom here, you have Douglas with his head down, you can't see him, and he tells Rick to do it. And then a great spread right here. Just a cold, look, no emotion, just blam, blasts him, kills him. Then they have a funeral, and all these walkers hear the gunshot. Because you got to remember, in this community, they don't ever fire guns. So there could be walkers all around them for quite a ways. And with hardly any firing of guns inside that part, aside from the construction, a lot of them would hear it. There's also a group on the outside that hear it, of people as well that are not part of the community, that they don't know, that hear the gunshot, so they head in that direction. And then you have Rick, who sort of comforts Peter's wife, whose name is Jessie. And yeah, so that's pretty much Douglas is going off the handrails because his wife is dead now because he didn't listen to Rick. And then to finish it up, we have that cool scene where the guys that heard the gunshot that you saw earlier. There's one right there, and he says, Rick's wearing a police outfit, and he says, little pig, let me in." So like the big bad wolf, so to speak. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then a very exciting gunfight ensues, and you get to see pretty much Andrea whoop some ass from a guard tower, and they take down this group without any hesitation or any problems. But in the process, they fire off so many shells, so many rounds, that all these walkers hear them, and thus causing a herd to start walking towards the Alexandria group, which, by the way, is an amazing spread. And Douglas, essentially, at this point, decides that, Rick is a better leader than he is, and he basically, and after what's happened to his wife, he feels responsible, and he feels like Rick was the right person to lead them, because not only did he call it on this Peter guy being crazy, but also he put Andrea in a guard tower in case another group attacks, and that's exactly what happened. So at this point, Rick sort of assumes leadership of the Alexandria, community, so to speak. And I think that this one's a really great one. At first, I kind of didn't like it, but now that I kind of look at it again, I realize that this is a really exciting trade. You got a lot of things happening. You get Douglas's wife, everything that happened to her. Douglas, Rick shooting down, killing Peter. Douglas telling him to do it. Then another group attacking, and the start of a herd, which is going to come in the next trade, which we've actually not seen yet up to this point. Is a herd actually attack the group? Well, Rick and Abraham and Morgan and Carl one time in a car ran into a herd, but we've actually never seen in the comic book series a herd attack their safe zone, their home, so to speak. So that's the start of that. Really exciting issue. I like all the different twists and things that happen. Michonne hitting Rick on the back of the head with the rock at his gun. Rick being looked at as a crazy person, and then afterwards everyone realizing that, oh my God, he was right, and him essentially assuming leadership. So I love this trade. I think it's one of the most exciting of all the Walking Dead, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's absolutely great. That's it for this one. So we're on. That's 13. We're going to do 14, 15, and 16 within the next couple weeks. That's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one later. Peace.